Coming up next on The Spot. With E3 just around the corner, we sit down to share what we're looking forward to. We've also got a ton of pre-E3 news for games like Lord of the Rings War in the North, Wipeout 2048, Uncharted Golden Abyss, and Batman Arkham City. Aaron Sampson has the latest in digital downloads, Cynthia Weirs highlights new site features for E3, and we conclude button mashing with Round 3, Consolation Round. We're taped and on the spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GameSpot studios for another episode of On the Spot. I'm your host, Chris Waters, joined by my co-host, Carolyn Pettit. Carolyn, what's up?
Well, I'm excited to be here.
It's showtime.
Yes, and it's an especially exciting showtime because it's not just another live show. This is a very special pre-recorded show that we are doing here today.
That is very accurate. By the time you folks are watching this, that camera and that one there and all these lights, this whole shebang is packed up and it's on its way down to Los Angeles because E3 is mere days away. And we're getting set up to deliver the current estimates put it at over 90 hours of video content from E3. Let's just think about that number for a second. Are there even 90 hours in the entirety of E3?
I don't know, but that's like every hour, and yeah, at least that we're going to be just delivering live content, and I think after that, just sleeping for a week.
We'll go into a state of hibernation.
Yes, but let's not think about that now. We got the show ahead of us to focus on.
And because of the magic of embargoes and E3 Judges Week, which was about 3 weeks ago in Los Angeles, we have got a whole slate of interviews and awesome stuff about the games that are hot, that are new, that are just announced, and that you're going to be seeing at E3 in just a few days. And of course, we've got trivia, shoulder bag. We've got the news with Tor Thorson, and we're going to roll that right now. So take it away, Tor.
Following 6 weeks of downtime, the PlayStation Store has finally returned. Late last night, the service went back online nearly a month and a half after a cyber attack that resulted in the exposure of some 77 million PlayStation Network accounts. The PlayStation blog has a full list of backlog content that is now available. It includes such PS3 downloadable titles as Wizardry, Labyrinth of Lost Souls, and the exclusive Under Siege. The next PlayStation Store update is slated for Friday, June 3rd, with at least 2 more to follow next week during the Electronic Entertainment Expo. Not yet available are the games Sony is giving away free under its Welcome Back program. Quote, "You may have noticed that the content promised as part of the Welcome Back offer is not yet live," said PlayStation Store Director Grace Chen. "It is currently in the final stages of testing and will be available to download soon." Speaking of Sony, speculation about the final name of the next generation portable is running rampant. It began over the weekend when a photo of the NGP bearing the name PS Vita on its bottom leaked. This image apparently comes from a proof sheet from Sony's upcoming E3 press briefing, where the new name will reportedly be unveiled. Since then, another photo has leaked, also showing the handheld bearing the PS Vita name. This week, the evidence continued to mount, with a Vita-branded URL redirecting to the Sony Computer Entertainment Developer Network site. Finally, when Sony launched the official E3 2011 PlayStation.com site, it left numerous mentions of PS Vita inside the webpage's source code. So when they roll out the PS Vita on Monday night, act surprised.
So as you folks may have gathered, this show is all about E3 2011. We're making a big deal of it because it's a pretty big deal.
It is a big deal, and I can tell you, I'm really anticipating it. But it's my first time covering it as part of GameSpot, and GameSpot, we tackle it like a military operation. It's super organized and everything. So there's a little bit of nerves, of kind of fear in there as well. It's this kind of exciting mixture of emotions as we head into the craziness of E3.
And once you get an idea for the true scope of the operation, it's definitely a little bit like, okay, this is happening. I'm not going to sleep. That's going to be awesome. But also, this is justified. And around the office, we've been talking about it a lot. Got some editors to sit down on tape and talk about what they're looking forward to about the whole event itself. And we're going to take a look at that right now.
If you have any interest in video games, E3 is absolutely something that you should be paying attention to. In the space of 4 days, you're going to find out everything that's coming out for the rest of the year and new things that you weren't even expecting that are going to be coming out, 1 to 2 years later. it is kind of like you're looking to the future.
You know how there are the 5 stages of grief? I feel like there should be the stages of E3 anticipation. Like, first, you're a long ways out and you're starting to think about the games that you hope you're gonna see there. And then, so you're optimistic. And then as, people announce, oh yes, we'll be at E3, oh no, we won't, then you sort of get resigned, you temper that optimism, you're resigned a little bit, you're like, okay, no new Half-Life game. All right, but I'm still excited. Then as it looms closer and closer, it's like, oh my goodness, that's right around the corner. I'm going to not sleep for an entire week and be in sensory overload. That's the dread part of E3. I'm right there, but I'm coming around to excitement again as I start thinking like, yes, I'm gonna be able to see these games. I'm going to be able to get my hands on them, and there's gonna be things revealed, and it's gonna be E3.
There's a ton of stuff I'm looking forward to. I guess first and foremost, I would be looking forward to the hardware, I guess. It's hard not to get excited about hardware, so the PSP 2, or if you want to call it the NGP, as we've been known to call it so far.
I had a chance to see the announcement in Japan in January and just kind of wrap my head around it, and it seems really cool. And as we get closer to E3 and Sony makes little announcements and whatnot, I'm just really anxious to see the titles that they're going to have and the features that platform's going to offer, because the PSP was a neat idea that maybe didn't get fully realized, and I'm hoping that NGP kind of makes up for all that.
I do like that one game they show where it's you moving your fingers across the back of it and it's showing like the ripple kind of go through the landscape, or the idea that I'm going to be climbing in Uncharted or whatever, using that kind of contextually. I kind of think that's kind of a neat thing, and then just the fact that thing looks awesome. And if you think about the stuff that you'll be able to do with it being as powerful, or I should say next to as powerful as the PlayStation 3, it's like that thing is really as high powered as it is. What does that mean for developers? Does that mean they're developing one game now that works on both? They're maybe doing some tweaks and formatting here, but either way, I think that sounds like a good idea. The Wii 2, I guess, is the big question mark, right? It's like, we've seen that video on YouTube, and it's like, well, I have my suspicions that it's not real, because Nintendo would have taken it down if it was real, right? So whatever, whether that thing, Project Cafe, is real or not, it sounds like we are going to see a new Nintendo piece of hardware, and that's always exciting.
Yeah, like everybody, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nintendo brings for the new console. They totally nailed lightning in a bottle with the Wii, and all bets are off on what they're going to do for this one. But it definitely seems, from the sound of all the things that are leaking out, that they've got their heads screwed on pretty straight, and they're going to do something that is pretty much what everybody was hoping the Wii would be. So to have like an HD console that's got Nintendo games on it, and just what Nintendo games would look like at an increased resolution with on more powerful hardware is going to be pretty exciting, because it's about time, I think.
And especially now, it's like with the Wii being kind of as revolutionary as their as the project name they used to use for that, the Revolution. If the Wii being as revolutionary as it was, what are they going to follow that up with? Are they just going to have an HD Wii? I don't think you can do that. I think you need to have something that is crazy, and whether it's like the rumored screen inside of a controller crazy, or whether that just sounds like way expensive. So I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm hoping there's something. I'm hoping it's more than just an HD Wii.
I know I'm biased, but one of the other big things I'm excited about for this year's E3 is our coverage. We have spent the past couple years kind of perfecting our press conference and stage show stuff. In addition, we've added show floor stuff with our live backpack camera, and even tonight on the spot. And we're doing all that this year. It's going to be the best we've ever done. There's a lot of neat stuff that we're going to do that we're real excited to try. And I can't believe how many hours that we're going to put out, but I think it's probably over 70 hours, which is nuts when you think about this is just taking place over the course of 4 days. But I think it's going to be one of the best E3s you've ever had, and I really hope people like it.
So coming up next, folks, our first taped interview for a game that's going to be shown off at E3. Now, Carolyn, this is not a new announcement.
No.
But nonetheless, a game that's going to have a big presence this year, Batman Arkham City.
Yes, I am super excited to gain any new information about this game that we can, or to get my hands on it. I mean, the original game was so great, but it was so kind of focused and organized. Here they're taking that organization and focus and opening it up into this whole open world, Gotham City environment. What is that really going to be like? I can't wait to find out more.
Well, You're going to find out more right now. Let's roll the interview.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I'm here with Jack Skin from Rocksteady Studios, who has announced some stuff for Batman Arkham City. What is the big news that you guys are talking about?
The big news today, Ricardo, is that Catwoman will be a playable character within Batman Arkham City.
Now, this is a second playable character, which everybody was asking for in the original game, if you guys were doing a sequel, which you obviously were. Why Catwoman? Obviously, I'm sure there was no shortage of suggestions from the fans.
We're pretty spoiled for characters, that's for sure, but with Catwoman we get a brilliant character who will allow gamers to indulge their darker side. You know, as playing as Batman, you've got this very rigid moral compass. You're always doing the right thing. You are delivering justice on the streets of Gotham 24/7. With Catwoman, you can take a bit of a walk on the wild side, take a bit of a break from being the defender of Gotham and indulge in a bit of super sneaky stealth thievery.
Now, for any folks out there that are worried that this is like just a reskin of Batman, but with a slightly sultrier walk, is this the case, or is she her own unique character?
Absolutely not. We have designed Catwoman as an integral part of the complete Batman Arkham series, Arkham City experience. So she's got her own combat system, she's got her own set of gadgetry, she's got her own way of navigating the game world. Obviously, she doesn't have a cape, so all of the glide functionality that we've developed for Batman doesn't fit her, so we've developed a new navigation system specifically for her. She's a genuine, fully featured, playable character.
And this is going to include character progression, correct? So you are going to be able to level her up in certain areas?
Well, you level up her armor and her abilities as Batman levels up as well. So the two of them have this sort of intertwined relationship throughout the game. You know, they're not allies. She's using Batman and using the chaos within Arkham City for her own ends. But as your development as Batman increases, so will the ability to use new functionality within Catwoman.
So tell us about the combat system, what you guys are doing there.
We're doing a lot. You know, combat has always been right at the heart of any Batman experience, and for us it was about delivering an incredibly high impact combat system that allows you to take on multiple guys simultaneously. Really ramping that up in Arkham City. We've increased the AI that these thugs have so they can come at you as 2 or 3 guys simultaneously, forcing Batman to counter twice or 3 times as those attacks are coming in. We've also integrated navigational skills and fused those with combat as well. So what you'd have seen today was this ledge boost takedown, which allows you to use your grapple boost move over a ledge, grab a guy who's on the other side of that railing, pick him up with you, and then slam him into next week.
Now, one of the big questions that does keep popping up is, you know, one of the challenges in the first game was going through the game without detective mode turned on all the time. So how are you guys tweaking things to ensure that people enjoy the gorgeous art that you've created through a not green hue?
Well, you know, detective mode is a significant part of Batman's character, his personality as the world's greatest detective. This is key to him, so it's not something that we wanted to remove. We found in Arkham Asylum that it was used as a bit of an exploit because the information that you got from the game when in detective mode kind of outweighed what you got when you weren't in detective mode. So, you know, we've heard those comments loud and clear. We've maintained detective mode because, as I said, it's a really important part of the game, but we expect gamers will use it as a tool. When you need to use it, you'll switch it on, you'll get the information that you need, and then you'll switch it off. And by rebalancing the amount of information you get in those 2 different modes, I think we'll resolve all of the issues that we've heard out of Arkham Asylum.
All right, so you guys are going to be on our stage at E3, so we are happy for this. Tell us when the next reveals we're gonna see happen. I mean, if I had to guess, there's Comic-Con, there's Gamescom, there's even PAX, and then hopefully the game's out. So, safe bet?
It's going to be a reveal-a-thon between now and then. There's a lot coming, and we want to make sure that we don't just, you know, blow it all in one hit. We're kind of spreading it out right now between now and October.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir. The game is looking great. And that is your latest update on Batman Arkham City. Be sure and check back on the site during E3, we'll have a lot more. It'll be on our stage. And I guess it sounds like there's going to be stuff on the site a couple times for the rest of the year, so check it out.
Now, that's just one of the games that's going to be on display at E3 2011, but of course, there are literally tens more.
Possibly
even hundreds.
Yes. So we've got this list of games, I think, that are kind of known, you know, that we know that we're excited about them. One of the fun things about E3 is that oftentimes by the end of it, there are games that we come away super excited about that we weren't even really aware of going into it. But but for now we've got these games that we know we're really interested in learning more about, and it was fun to sit down recently and talk about why we're excited about some of those games.
It was pretty fun, and though those sort of unexpected gems are going to have to wait till next week to be revealed, here's a look at a whole bunch of GameSpot editors talking about what they know they're looking forward to.
Welcome to E3. User authorized. E3 unlocked.
As far as the games, and that's really kind of where the bread and butter of E3 has always been, is whether there's hardware there or not, there's going to be new games that you're going to want to play.
I would be down for some more crazy, over-the-top Asura's Wrath footage.
I keep hearing about this big finger poking thing.
It's got the big crazy finger of God coming down to crush your character, and you gotta like punch, 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 and break everything apart. That game looks so crazy, so over the top.
So Batman was just a shock when it came out. And I'm really excited to see what Rocksteady can do.
Arkham City is apparently going to be this much bigger, kind of wide open adventure where Batman and his extended Bat family are going to come in and join.
I'm just really curious to see how they are going to incorporate what we know and love about Batman Arkham Asylum into this kind of open world environment of Arkham City.
So Battlefield 3 is a game that I'm really, really interested in.
Oh yes, Battlefield 3. Yes. I want to see it. I want to blow things up.
What I care about is Battlefield 3 having the same kind of huge, really in-depth, team-based multiplayer, the huge maps, the great variety, the different vehicles, the squad tactics. What I want is all the great stuff that made Battlefield 2 so awesome, and just lots more of it.
BioShock Infinite, I was pretty excited for it. I'm a huge fan of the first two games. Its departure from the underwater world of Rapture. I don't know that I want to be excited about being up in crazy Cloud City, but I don't know that I will be. I think maybe the atmosphere will lose something, but who knows?
Dark Souls is actually my most wanted game of the year.
The best games that are ever made aren't the ones that do what the developer thinks people want. They're the games that people don't know that they wanted until they have them. And Demon's Souls was one of those kinds of games. Dark Souls, I want the same kind of experience. I want the same kind of game where it's like they're giving me something that I didn't even know I wanted.
I've reached that point with Deus Ex Human Revolution where I'm not sure if I want to just not see anything more until I get to play it and experience it firsthand, or dive in and experience as much as I can.
People can kind of yammer on and on about games as art all they want, but when you see a game that's art, you kind of know it. And Journey is one of those games that's clearly art.
It's pretty, but what else is going on there?
I don't know what it is, but I want it.
The Last Guardian. For all the dudes in edit that have been talking about The Last Guardian for God knows how long now, I hope to play that game. I hope to get a hold of that game and have it on our stage.
I'm really excited for the new Lord of the Rings game. The developer also made Champions of Norath, and I spent about 80 hours playing that back in the day. They totally understand what makes an action RPG. They have the visual design, they have the loops, they have the leveling up stuff, and I cannot wait for this game.
So obviously I'm dying to see what BioWare is doing for Mass Effect 3.
I absolutely love the role-playing stuff of the first, and I like the more combat, action-oriented stuff of the second. So I'd like to see some kind of melding of the two, like with some big battlefields so you really get to take advantage of the combat with a lot more characterization and stuff. I want to see where they're going with this franchise.
Ninja Gaiden 3, holy cow, that series has always been so unbelievably brutal.
There is something incredibly satisfying about taking a sword and stabbing somebody with it repeatedly, which, if you had an eye at the teaser trailer, you seem to be doing a lot of in this game.
So Skyrim is going to be the next Elder Scrolls game, and it sounds like they're doing a lot of what I wanted the Elder Scrolls games to do.
I'm looking forward to Skyrim mainly because that game is gorgeous, and I really like the music. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that all plays out.
I love Bethesda RPGs. I love Fallout. I love Oblivion, and this game looks gorgeous. I just want to explore it, and I want to see all the hidden stuff. I want to grief the AI. I want to get all the spells. I want to fight dragons. I just want to do it.
So one of my personal highlights at this year's E3 is going to be Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I'm especially happy that this is going to be like the third or fourth year now that we've had a fighting game of really good caliber appear at E3. And I don't want to jinx it, but it really does feel like that genre is coming back, and it's coming back in a way that's being embraced by a broader audience than it has been in the past, and that's just great.
So The Old Republic is a game that I've seen a whole lot, and I think just what's really impressive about it is just how much stuff there is. Every time I see it, I really just feel like I'm just kind of scratching the surface.
Well, I don't really play MMOs, but I do love Star Wars, and I might actually play this just because I love Star Wars, and I get to play a Jedi.
The big question for me with Uncharted 3 is how can they top Uncharted 2?
Because that one it understood the pacing, and the combat and the platforming was fun. The set pieces were just insane, and it's like they have to go back to the drawing board and somehow reinvent this franchise. And it's just I know they can do it, and I just want to see what they're going to give us.
Looking over on the Wii, Skyward Sword is a game that it's hard not to get excited about. A Zelda game.
Using a Wiimote to kind of emulate the way that Link swings a sword, fights in combat. It just sounds really interesting. I don't know how that's going to work in practice. I hope I don't destroy my living room playing it, but I'm looking forward to seeing more at E3.
Now, Caro, E3 isn't just about the games, and it's not just about us going down there to relay tons and tons of information about the games. It's about the folks in the community getting to interact and have a good time and experience it themselves.
Well, absolutely. That's what we try to do, I think, is as much as possible, bring the show to our audience and let them, really engage with the show in as many ways as possible.
And GameSpot community managers Jody and Cynthia have put together a little feature that shows you new site features, new ways for you to get involved and connect with the GameSpot community during E3 2011. Oh, and there's probably emblems involved too.
Hello E3 fans, Cynthia here, your community manager, here to talk to you about E3. Yes, it's that time of year again, time for the Electronics Entertainment Expo. If you're wondering what kind of goodies you can do at GameSpot's community during this ultimate expo of all things gaming, we've got 5 tips that are worth considering. Tip 1, the games. You'll want to make sure that you are following all of your favorite games. By doing this, you'll have the opportunity to filter games according to your preference. For example, clicking the My Updates link located at the e3.gamespot.com page will only display the games that you care about. Tip 2, the chat room. This is one of the coolest places to hang out in during E3 for those of you that couldn't make it to the showroom floor. If you see a chat room listed on any of our video pages, we highly recommend that you join it and see what other people are saying about these live press conferences or stage demos. Tip 3, achievements. GameSpot members will have a chance to receive up to 8 achievements this year, with 2 of the achievements being upgradable. Not able to stay tuned to all 90 hours of E3 footage? Never fear, we also have ways to allow GameSpot members who can't watch the live stream to receive achievements this year. So don't forget to check the How to E3 features page for future details about how you can unlock some E3 2011 achievements. Tip 4, tweet Twiddly-dee. All of this coverage is a lot to sift through, but what if you want to see Chris, Sean, Sophia, or Jody? What about the other GameSpot editors? Never fear, Twitter is here! We have a Twitter feed that will display what they are up to, where they are, and who they are talking to, so be sure to follow them for more updates. Tip 5, video player. Last but certainly not least, we here at GameSpot have a spiffy new video player. Viewers can now watch live shows in HD. Think your ears may have deceived you? Did you really just see that? Well, now you can replay the content just to be sure. For example, if you come in to watch a live show at the 10-minute mark, you can go backwards and start from the beginning, or just follow along in real time while all the broadcast is still live on the air. Well, there you have it. We hope that these tips and tricks will help make your E3 coverage truly epic. See you on the show floor.
So in addition to games, E3 is also about showing off new hardware, and this year we're expecting to see what? Like the new Wii announcement is expected?
Right, the Wii 2 or whatever it ends up.
Whatever it's Project Cafe going to be, maybe.
Right.
Also the NGP is going to be on the scene.
Yes.
That's Sony's new portable device that you saw, that they announced many months ago and sort of showed off Uncharted and touchscreen functionality and stuff like that.
Right now, we don't even know much about this game. Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Yes, they announced the title, and we got to take a look at it during Judges Week.
Yes, and here's an interview about Uncharted Golden Abyss, so you can learn more about it right now.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here with Chris Reese, who's co-director of Sony's Bend Studio, and they are working on Uncharted Golden Abyss for the NGP. So, brand new Uncharted game for the NGP. What are you guys doing?
We're having a lot of fun making Uncharted for the NGP. It takes place right before Drake's Fortune. It's not a prequel. It definitely ties in with the Uncharted, storyline, the overall arc of Uncharted.
Now, there's a lot of high expectations for what Uncharted is supposed to look and play like on anything. So, talk to us about the tech that you guys are using to make this thing go like it should on the NGP.
Well, the NGP is fantastic. I mean, it's got a high-powered GPU in that thing, which is allowing us to do, a lot more complicated rendering techniques that before was only, you could accomplish on the console, such as the PS3. So, with those capabilities, we're able to hit that mark, which is Uncharted quality for visual, fidelity.
Now, above and beyond visual fidelity, the NGP gives you some new gameplay options, which we had a chance to mess around with a little bit. So talk to us about the touch and the back screen and the crazy movement action that you guys are putting in.
Yeah, so, from the very beginning when we started on this project, we wanted to take advantage of what the NGP had to offer and its unique capabilities for touch and for tilt and 6-axis control and on it goes. So a lot of ideas were thrown out in the beginning and sort of just playing back and forth and seeing what felt good, but what it really came down to was immersiveness and actually being able to touch the environment and get a more in-depth interaction with the character and the player.
Now, this is Naughty Dog's baby. How involved are they in what you guys are doing?
They're very involved with the story. We have been involved with showing them builds of the game as it's been going. So it's certainly we've been doing a lot of talking with them.
Now, as far as an Uncharted experience goes, what can we expect from the NGP version? Like, have you had to make any compromises?
I mean, you're going to get a full Uncharted experience, and just in terms of cinematics alone. I mean, we've got like 2 hours of pure cinematics that you're going to be watching that take you through the story.
Now, in addition to the core Uncharted stuff that we all know very well, it seems like you guys are also putting in some little funky puzzles. So I did a rubbing on an artifact that then I collected all of them and I had to make an image into one single thing that was like a puzzle. So talk to us about how you're incorporating that stuff.
So we're, including puzzles that take advantage of the touch panels, the front touch panel in particular, in the puzzle that you're describing. And, with the goal of it giving more of a tactile response for the player and involving him more in the environment and the actual puzzle solving.
All right, so the next big question we've got for you to wrap things up, when can we get our hands on this and take it home?
Well, we're actively working very hard on this thing. So stay tuned. There's more to come on that.
All right, well, there you go. That is your first look at Uncharted Golden Abyss for the NGP. We're going to have a lot more soon.
Now, folks, you may not know this, but there is a conflict brewing in the GameSpot offices between me and Carolyn. Who is the bigger Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah.
I sort of had that position locked down.
Yeah.
Reviewed a couple games, but you're on the scene. New Lord of the Rings game coming out this year.
Yes.
You're gonna make a bid for that throne, aren't you?
I am. I'm gonna gun for it. I mean, because there's multiple reasons I'm excited about this game. It's a loot-driven, fantasy co-op, action hack and slash game.
Fun.
Fun, exactly. All good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it has the Lord of the Rings, license, which seems to me like it should be a really perfect fit. So yeah, I'm definitely super excited about taking charge of some dwarves and elves and men or whoever you get to command and hack some orcs to bits.
Sticking it to them orcs. I'm
Yes.
hoping we'll be able to get our hands on it this E3, but of course we got to take a look at it during Judges Week. Here's an interview for Lord of the Rings: War in the North.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I'm here with Ruth DeMandel, who's a producer at Snowblind Studios working on Lord of the Rings: War in the North. Now, Ruth, you guys have shown off something brand new here today that's got feathers, so you want to talk to us about some of the new features?
We're showing off a bunch of new stuff, but the biggest thing is Belaram, the giant eagle. He's shown up in other demos talking to you. He's an NPC, but he's also one of your fellowship. He's the fourth member of your fellowship. He's awesome in combat. You can call him for help if you're facing a boss or a mini-boss that's really difficult, and he'll just bite their face off. He attacks. He completely destroys everything. He's awesome because he's, a huge eagle. He's a predator.
Which is handy to have when you're doing stuff that involves orcs and trolls. So the level we saw here is brand new, and it shows some people that we should be familiar with if we know the books. But you guys are also showing off kind of the fleshed out combat system as well. So do you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, a couple of things that we're really excited to show are our Fornos level. This is one of the best levels in the game. It's also one of the first big combat areas, and I've been dying to show this off because it's awesome. It's basically built like Minas Tirith, so you're fighting your way through tiers of walls toward the center citadel where Agendour is hiding. It's a great level. It's full of orcs and goblins and a few other things, so that's awesome. We're also showing off our deeper combat system. We've added a whole lot of combat moves so that in combat you have tons of options. You can unlock multiple active abilities in the skill tree and use them. For example, the dwarf can unlock a shield bash, so if you have a shield equipped, you can stun a guy. The elf can use a force push to push back a whole bunch of enemies. So there's tons of options in combat, and the skill tree has gotten a lot deeper. So those RPG elements have gotten tons deeper. You have just way more options and ways to customize your character.
Now, going into the character customization, while there are technically 3 roles that need filling when you're playing the game, obviously you're going to have a tank and a ranged and kind of support. Within each of those characters, you have a little bit of latitude, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've tried really hard to differentiate the 3 heroes from each other, but also to give each hero 3 viable play styles. So as the elf, for example, you can play as a support class and you can heal the other characters and protect them from archery. You can also, though, just be an awesome battle mage. So you can go in and just blow up everything, push guys back, do a lot of crowd control moves. So we don't want the elf to be the weak melee character. We want her just to be awesome at melee in a different way from the other 2 classes. And we've done that for all 3 classes. So you can customize them really in 3 pretty distinct play styles. But each of those will really fill out the fellowship and help your party members.
And in terms of content, you guys are being really awesome about the loot system because it seems right now that the concerns about anybody ninjaing stuff is dealt with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we drop specific loot for each character, so if you open a chest, you'll get different loot from someone else who opens the same chest, because it's a co-op game. We want you to work together and not have to worry about making other people angry or damaging them, pissing off your friends. So the loot, there's thousands of loot items. It's awesome. You can customize your character with it. And if you find something that you can't use, for example, if you're the elf and you find a 2-handed axe, you can give that to the dwarf and he can use it. And if you're playing single player and your other fellowship members are being controlled by the AI, you can also give the AI stuff. So if you find an awesome fire axe, you can hand it to the dwarf AI and he'll use it in combat.
And in terms of the experience, well, you guys are set up to have a really robust story. Once you finish the game, it's not really the end because you guys are hoping and encouraging people to play more. So how are you guys doing that?
You can definitely play through the game multiple times with your party. We want people to build their party up and then get really attached to it. Be able to play through the game multiple times, go into challenges that they can attempt, play multiplayer with their friends with your same characters that you've been building up the whole time. So we really want you to get attached to your characters and take them and play with them a lot of different ways.
And to go back to Belaram for a second, it's not like you can call him down throughout the whole game. You can't just go through the game and just keep hitting A and have him take care of everything. So how are you guys balancing that?
There's a cooldown on calling Belaram, and also the number of times you can call him is limited. When you level up, you can call him additional times, and you can find items that let you call him. You can't call him if you're in caves or inside buildings, obviously, because he's an eagle, and he has to keep watch for fell beasts above you. But anytime you're out in the open and there's enemies around and you have charges, then you're going to own.
All right, well, I guess the big question we've got now is when's the game coming out and what platform?
I wish I could tell you when it's out. I just can tell you that it's this year, 2011, and it's going to be out on the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the PC.
Those of you who have been watching On the Spot for the past 2 weeks have been tracking the epic clash between Brad Muir, Ricardo Torres, and Tom McShay in Super Button Mashing. Now round 3 has arrived and we're going to see the epic conclusion of this conflict. Roll it!
It's time to mash buttons. When I say button, you say mashing button. Mashing button. Mashing button. Mashing button. You're gonna get mine. You're gonna get super button method coming at ya.
So here it is, guys, the consolation round. As I mentioned before, this is the skill-based round where we're going to have our 3 contestants actually play a few different games. We've got a nice little varied retro collection of video games. We've got Mario Brothers, we've got Toy Commander for the Dreamcast.
Toy Commander, great, yeah.
And we've also got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Basically, Mario Brothers, you need to defeat 3 enemies. Toy Commander, you're going to take off from the hangar, you're going to fly around the table, and then you're going to land. Crash land if you want, it's up to you.
All right.
For
probably
that's
probably
gonna
opt for the crash land.
Exactly.
I think that's what I'm gonna go for.
And Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, the third and final one. Your goal is to collect 50 points. And basically, the way this works, the first place winner of this third round gets 1,000 points. Second place gets 500, and third place gets 300. So quite a lot is on the line here. Brad, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm really looking forward to the Toy Commander, which I've never played, and the Jungle Beat, which
that's going to be fun. You've barely touched one of these before today.
It's kind of nice though.
Yeah, you'll have fun with it. Don't worry.
Is this real?
Those are real bongos. Okay. We imported them from somewhere. You ready?
Yeah, hopefully my Mario time is decent.
Okay, ready, set, go. Here we go. Now this is not, as I was led to believe, the original. Or I'm sorry, this is not Super Mario Brothers, this is the original Mario Brothers, which is a different beast entirely. So that is one enemy. There you go, one enemy. Oh, that could be your second one. Nice, 2 enemies. Oh.
That guy's really pissed.
Turbo Turtle. Get him. Nice. Get that beat. All right, 3 enemies, there we go. So that's Mario Brothers. Now we're gonna switch over to Toy Commander and find out how you are.
What is going on right now? What is that?
Go ahead and press the start button and hit your A button. There you go. Now you need to take off.
Okay, where's the
Hopefully
table
pull
then?
back. That is the table. So
I just need to go around it.
Yeah, just
like
go
this.
around it. You're doing good. You're doing good. Just bank
about this?
slightly to the. How come you were not a professional pilot? Why did you become a game designer?
I was before I started
perfect.
at Double Fine. And then you want me to just go back in that hangar?
You can crash land for all you want.
I'm gonna crash it.
Oh, perfect. All right, you crash landed. Nice work. Damn fine work.
Jungles.
Okay,
I'm losing
about
time.
to get to jungles and
Maybe
we're
back at Mario now. Okay.
Okay, so you just hit the. Oh, actually, go back.
How about
that? Enter is that button. There you go. So we need you to get 50 points here. So yeah, you just keep. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You are collecting points like crazy. You hit both of them to jump. You're at 38. And even more bananas on the ground here. Oh, you're getting close, Brad. You are getting very close. Ooh, get that crazy monkey thing. And 50, there we go. Nice work. 1 minute.
Because of Frank.
1 minute, 38 seconds. That is with an asterisk next to it that says Frank. And a little frowny face.
We'll have to go to the tape.
We'll have to go to the tape. Good work, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Good work.
That was
You're an expert pilot.
Yeah, I'm thinking about taking lessons now.
You should.
After
You should.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, toy planes.
Toy planes,
Only,
not like
right?
planes with humans in them.
And this was, yeah, that's weird. That's a game?
That is a game.
I had never played that before. Well, thank you.
Totally game. All right, on to the next contestant. And now here we are with our second contestant, Tom McShay. Tom, you have a tough task on your hands. Brad did very well in that last round. So basically what you need to do here, it's 3 games. Mario Brothers, you need to defeat 3 enemies.
Okay.
Toy Commander, you need to take off from the hangar. There's going to be a table in front of you. You're going to fly fully around the table, and then you land the plane.
Land the plane?
You can crash land it if you want.
Done.
Yeah. And then in Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, you need to collect 50 points.
Okay. Any song?
We have a level queued up.
Okay.
It's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Oh, it's
not Donkey Konga.
It's not Donkey Konga.
Ooh, throwing a monkey wrench into it. There you go.
Let's do this.
Okay, so we are going to start right now. Okay, here we go. Phase 1 is it's an old game. It takes a second to load up. There we go. Let's see, Tom, how are you gonna do? Oh, you gotta get up there and actually.
I know. I gotta figure out these buttons.
Oh, get that. It looks like a little baby lying down, doesn't it? It's a little weird. Get him. Oh.
Yeah, this is bad. I'll get him with this, I guess.
Turbo Turtle. Oh, go get him. can do it, Tom. I have faith in you. Oh no, aren't you
the world is laughing.
You're the self-proclaimed platformer expert. Okay, 3 enemies. Moving on to Toy Commander. You hit that start button and take off. Ooh, whoa. Okay, table is that nebulous black object right there. So you want to fly around it. There you go. You're doing well. You are doing well. Ooh, you were flying over the table. Now go to the right, to the right, to the right, and land. There you go. Nice work there, Tom. On to Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Got a pretty solid pace here. Hit that enter button.
I forgot.
Combo 2. That's up to you. Not.
I know.
You gotta.
There we go.
There you go. You just tap right. Hit. There you go. There you go. Go for 50. Go for takeoff 2. Hey-o! Nice work. Nice work. 39. Gotta get 50 though.
No, that was only 3 points.
42. And Tom. You gotta get. Ooh, so close, so close. Oh, Tom.
Oh.
Tom.
How do you get? I don't even. Oh, do I have to clap?
Oh, 50 points. There we go. Jody Robinson. 1 minute 35 seconds.
What did Brad get?
I believe he got 1 minute 38 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So you are ahead of the curve.
Wow, the bar was set low. I stumbled over it.
You stumbled over the bar. Nice work, Tom.
Sure.
Great job. Now we're going to find out how Ricardo does. So with Brad and Tom out of the way, we're on to our third and final contestant, Ricardo Torres.
Hello.
Ricardo, this is how it's going to work. 3 games. You've got Mario Brothers. What you need to do there is defeat 3 enemies. In Toy Commander for the Dreamcast, you need to take off from the hangar. You're going to see a big table in front of you, a big kitchen table. And you're going to fly all the way around it and then land your plane. You can opt to crash land it if you want. I mean, it's frowned upon, but it certainly counts. No penalty for that.
I played that game before, you know that's an option.
And then finally, we've got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which would explain these crazy bongo controllers. What you need to do is collect 50 points. You think you're ready?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to hit start now.
Okay.
All right. Takes a second to load up here. It's an old game. And we are off.
Okay.
There you go. That's your jump button, also known as the turtle murder button. And poor little turtle. Go for that. Oh, nice. Oh no! Ooh, that's not good. Floating down from heaven. Still got a sleeping turtle you can take care of. All right, nice.
All right.
Now turbo turtle. Ooh, nice work. And you get like coins too. All right, on to the next one. Toy Commander right there. Go ahead and, lost a second on that one. And you're gonna hit the start button, hit the A button.
It's gonna look better.
Hit the A button.
All right.
And take off. So that black thing right there is the big kitchen table. You're gonna fly around it.
Okay.
Make sure you don't fly over it. We'll allow some leeway there. You can fly slightly over it. All right.
Oh, wow,
You're doing well. You're doing well. You need to go right.
Yeah.
And then go a little bit more right and land. Feel free to land.
Right.
Just crash not on the table, onto the ground. Onto the you don't need to protect anybody. It's a drone ship. There's no human lives on board.
How do you turn the engines off? I totally
You just aim for the ground. We'll let you even land on the table.
All right.
Perfect, you landed on the table. On to Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. You're gonna hit this little enter button here. That tidiness is costing you time. Hit this button right here.
Okay.
All right, you need to collect 50 points. Here we go, here we go. Ooh, all right, doing well, doing well. Don't worry about that little demon thing. Jump. All right, and is that going to be... Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Ricardo is done. Jody Robinson, what is our time total for Ricardo? 152.
Yeah.
Ricardo,
I blew it.
I'm afraid you didn't win this one.
All right.
But you gave it a good effort. You displayed an encyclopedic knowledge of retro video games in that first round. You showed us that you had terrific reflexes in that second round. And you did a damn fine job of killing turtles in Mario Brothers. So,
it's a thing.
Nice work all around. Thanks a lot,
sir.
Ricardo. All right, Brad, I'm afraid that you didn't win this episode, but you gave it a good shot. You show that you are an expert of the retro games, and you are a damn fine pilot, despite what you led us to believe earlier.
Thanks. I just need a minute.
That's fine. That's fine. Collect your thoughts. You know, it's not. I would not call it a defeat for game developers as a whole. I would just say it's just one step in a larger process.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I just don't know what to say. You know, I feel like I let down all the Double Fine fans. And
There's one thing you have left to say.
Yes.
And I think it's about a little video game you have coming out.
You should still go download Trenched, even though I didn't win this thing. So when it comes out this year, go play it.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Brad. And here we are. After all of that, we are back with the overall winner of Super Button Mashing, none other than the internet's own Tom McShay. Tom, how does it feel to be proclaimed the greatest video game expert in all the land?
I'm glad it's validated.
Validated?
I want it on a stamp now.
You've got it on your stamp. We're going to put that on your business card, and you are just going to be trotted around the city in a series of parades, I would imagine. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tom, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That was good. Thanks a lot for everybody out there watching Super Button Mashing. Be sure to stick around for the next one.
It's time to... When I say button, you say mashing button. Button. You're gonna get Super Button Mashing coming at ya.
Now, one of the things E3 is all about is big announcements, new games, new projects, new systems, etc., etc. And in the lead up to E3, you also get a bunch of announcements, whether they're leaked or, intentionally delivered by the company that's announcing them. One of the ones that came down very, very recently was a new Wipeout game for the NGP. That's Wipeout 2048. So Wipeout launching on yet another Sony system. It's been a pretty big standby.
Yeah, I mean,
for Sony on their new system.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, early in the PlayStation, the original PlayStation lifecycle, I mean, I remember Wipeout being this super exciting, ultra fast racing experience that wasn't really like anything else out there. And on pretty much every console they've put out since then. I mean, the PlayStation 3 has the great downloadable Wipeout game. So yeah, it's a great series.
And whether or not you actually believe that in the matter of decades we're going to be speeding around on high-speed, magnetically charged supercars, here's an interview for Wipeout 2048 to get your first look at it.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here with Stuart Tilley, who's game director from Sony's Liverpool studios, and they have just shown off Wipeout 2048 for the NGP, brand new Wipeout. So Stuart, what can we expect from this one?
Well, Wipeout 2048 is a brand new Wipeout game designed exclusively for NGP. So what that means is, for a start, one of the things that Liverpool Studios always prided itself on is to be able to create super slick graphics for new PlayStation hardware. And hopefully you've seen today that we're kind of getting there as well with this. So NGP is great for us because not only is the screen brilliant and the joystick's fantastic, it's got so much power that we can get the game looking amazing really quickly.
Now, looks aren't everything because, one of the hallmarks of the latest Wipeout games has just been an insane amount of content. So 2048, you mentioned it's kind of in the same vein, in the same spirit. What can we expect content-wise?
Yeah, so 2048 is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Wipeout game. So that's all new tracks, all new ships, all new weapons, all new game modes, and even an all new online campaign. So with 2048 set before the dawn of the sport. So this is before racetracks were built specifically for Wipeout ships. So a lot of the races take place through city streets. So you're tearing up at 1,000 miles an hour through past skyscrapers, and then we layer in extra bits of track so that you can race vertically up the skyscraper and launch off the top and carry on your race. And then again, the online campaign, which is a really interesting idea that we've got. So you go online and play races as you would expect, but every player's then got their own mission objective they need to achieve at the same time. So you have a progression through the online. What that'll allow you to do is to get online without needing to be brilliant at the game straight away. So your first objective may be just finishing the top half. You don't have to win the race. So if you finish in the top half, you don't have to beat the insanely good guys who just happen to be online. You can still progress, and as you progress through there, you unlock more content in the game as well. So there's a whole structure to the multiplayer side in the same way as you'd expect from a single-player game.
All right, well, the last major question is, when can we get our hands on it and take it at home, not here?
Yeah, so Wipeout 2048 will be a day one release title for NGP. So the day you buy your NGP, you can go out and pick up Wipeout and just show off how powerful your NGP device is to your friends. Also on day one, you will get the interoperability between NGP and PS3. So the day you buy your NGP and Wipeout, you take it home, switch it on, you can be playing competitively with PS3 players as well.
All right, sounds pretty cool. Well, thank you very much, sir. That is your first look at Wipeout 2048, and we'll have more on the game in the months to come.
Now, I hope you folks don't think that just because E3 is next week, we're ignoring what's going on in gaming this week. Aaron Sampson has put together his weekly look at the digital download scene to keep you abreast of new ways to spend your digital money and take up your hard drive space. Here it is.
What's up, GameSpotters? This is Aaron Sampson bringing you a list of top digital downloads this week on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and even some Wii Shop channel. New this week, according to the PlayStation blog, full PSN service, including the PlayStation Store, will return this week. That's right, dust off your uncompromised credit card and get back to gaming because family time is over. While you're waiting these last few days, hit the PlayStation blog for updates and watch a Starhawk multiplayer match. This week, Wii Shop channel has a reasonable showing with 2 titles. First is Fast Racing League for 1,000 Wii points. The year is 2112, and apparently people still like speedy things. Fortunately, anti-gravity racing is a thing that happened. Hit the circuit solo or battle with friends in split-screen competition. On the system of DS, check out B-Team Episode 1 Dust and Steel for 800 Nintendo DSi points. Despite a long title, B-Team is a humorous squad-based shooter in which players control a small private army way the heck better than Blackwater. I mean XE, which is totally not Blackwater because it now has an X and an E. Lead your platoon through an onslaught of commandos, voodoo warriors, and dangerous guerrillas as a lone gunman or with a friend in multiplayer. Old but newly available this week on XBL. Remember that super popular motion sensing device from last year? Microsoft sure wants you to this week with 3 Shreddy Connect titles. For $49.99, you can be a winner in the Biggest Loser Ultimate Workout. Ultimate Workout will have you leave the confines of your lazy boy for exercise and lighthearted competition, combined with diet and stat tracking. Next, if you want to do a scientific experiment and see what a game with a terrible 2.0 score looks like, then you can pay the full price of $49.99 for Fighters Uncaged. Uncaged takes players into the world of underground fighting and then frustrates the hell out of them with broken controls, a poor scoring system, and limp animations. Faring marginally better with a mere bad 3.5 score is Motion Sports. Motion Sports offers competition in 6 events such as football, skiing, soccer, hang gliding, horseback riding, and boxing. Most sports have problematic controls, but on the bright side, hang gliding is soothing. On second thought, hold off on that Kinect biz until this thing happens, whatever this is, on May 31st. Game demos on XBL this week see the release of the already released Fable 3. Buy up your empire and fight in the land of Albion. Reviewer Tom McShay gave the full title a 7.0 for strong artistic design, great humor, and a memorable musical score, although he did not enjoy a healthy helping of tedious combat. Also this week, for those looking forward to games actually being released in the future, is the Dungeon Siege 3 demo. Currently slated for a June 21st, 2011 release, choose from a cast of 4 heroes and slay them monsters for loot. And new DLC this week, Multiplayer Maps is the name of the game, as Dead Space 2 releases Outbreak maps free of charge to gold members. Section 8 Prejudice adds the Overdrive map pack for 320 Microsoft points. Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime gets a challenge pack for 160 Microsoft points. And also this week, LA Noire gets into the DLC business with a host of content. In game trailers, you may enjoy footage from Hunted the Demon's Forge, Ace Combat Assault Horizon, Operation Flashpoint Red River, Call of Juarez The Cartel, and Gears of War 3. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for our top picks of digital downloads.
All right, Carolyn, it is trivia time here. Yeah. This is so we've got this package here. It's a, what do you call it? Messenger bag? Messenger bag.
It is a messenger bag.
Virtua Tennis 4 comes with a water bottle, comes with Velcro and like some bonus headbands. This thing is pretty sturdy and it's got a lot of pockets and you know, this may be a little awkward to drink out of, but hey, it can be yours if you answer this question. What is the name of the internal Sega development team that made Virtua Tennis 4? If you think you know the answer, send us an email to onthespot@gamespot.com with your guess, or use the trivia button on the side of the page to submit your answer to us. Good luck. And with that, our E3 2011 On the Spot pre-recorded extravaganza is coming to a close. Carolyn Pettit, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
We're going to be here coming at you on Monday next. It'll be Monday?
Yeah, press conference craziness.
Press conference craziness. They've stacked them all up. We're going to be at each one, bringing you the live broadcast as well as commentary following. And then on Tuesday, it's the start of our live show where we're bringing all the live demos you want to see from all the hottest games at E3. It's going to be an amazing amount of content, over 90 hours of video game awesomeness. Hope you'll join us there because it's going to be great. Now for everyone here in the GameSpot studios who has to get to packing immediately, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Carolyn Pettit.
Saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Los Angeles.